Hello and welcome to the English Speaking Studio. I'm Jack, your co-host.
And I'm Lucy.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Deep Dive. This time, we're going to do a deep dive into networking.
Oh, networking.
Yeah, called networking, what it is and how to do it successfully. And we were just talking before we started recording. You said you have a lot of experience with this.
I do.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm really excited to get into this with you and kind of go beyond the basics here a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, let's just jump right in. This article starts by defining networking, right? Like, what is networking?
Right.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It said it's not just collecting business cards.
Yeah.
It's about exchanging information and ideas, but I think it's even deeper than that.
It is. It really is about building relationships.
Okay.
And that's where you're going to get most of your traction. Those relationships will lead to career advancement, new clients for your business, or simply staying in the loop on the latest trends in your field.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because people get so hung up on the word networking. You say networking, and people just think cocktail party,
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm so uncomfortable. I don't want to,
Yeah, or like speed dating.
Yeah, like speed dating. But it doesn't have to be that way at all.
No. Yeah.
It can be so much more organic. I mean, imagine this. You're out walking your dog in the park.
Sure.
You strike up a conversation with someone. You find out, hey, you're a graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a writer.
That's great.
Suddenly, you're bouncing ideas off of each other.
Right.
That's networking. And it happens so naturally.
Right. And you never know where these opportunities might lie.
Exactly. So it's not just about, going to industry events, although the article talks about joining groups with shared interests.
Yeah.
Things like professional organizations, alumni groups, even church groups.
Right.
But it can be so much broader than that.
Absolutely. Attending trade shows, seminars, conferences. You're surrounded by like-minded people.
Packed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about a gaming convention.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about playing the games. You're networking with other developers and designers.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how a lot of game studios actually start.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're building relationships and potentially even, starting a business together.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's really about recognizing, like you said, that any interaction can be a networking opportunity if you're open to it.
That's right.
And I love that perspective.
Yeah.
I think it makes it a lot less intimidating, too,
It does.
when you think of it that way.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about what networking is and kind of where it can happen.
Right.
But now let's get into how to actually do it effectively,
Okay.
because I think that's where people really struggle.
Absolutely. And the article has some good advice about being strategic. It's not just about showing up. It's about having a purpose.
So like not just joining every group you can find on Meetup.
Exactly. You want to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
So before you even start networking, ask yourself, what are you hoping to achieve?
Okay.
Are you looking for a mentor in your field? Do you want to collaborate on a project? Or maybe you just want to expand your knowledge base?
Mm-hmm.
Having that clarity can really help you focus your efforts.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like anything else you do.
Right.
If you don't have a goal in mind, you're just kind of wandering around aimlessly.
Exactly. And then, people always get hung up on like crafting the perfect elevator pitch.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, I think it's more about having a few talking points ready.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what you do in a way that's engaging and sparks curiosity.
So like instead of a robotic script, it's more about having something that can start a conversation.
Right. Something that invites people to learn more about you.
Got it.
And don't forget, networking is a two-way street.
Yeah.
It's not just about talking about yourself. It's about actively listening to others, asking thoughtful questions, and showing genuine interest in what they have to say.
That's so important.
It is.
I feel like sometimes the most valuable connections come from those unexpected conversations
Absolutely.
where you really listen and learn from someone else's experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember going to a conference a few years ago, and I ended up talking to this woman who worked in a completely different field than me.
Okay.
And we just had this amazing conversation.
Wow.
And we ended up collaborating on a project together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And it wouldn't have happened if I had just stayed in my little industry bubble.
Right. You never know where those connections will lead.
Exactly. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like being open to those serendipitous moments.
Yes. And the article also emphasizes the importance of following up.
Oh, yeah, that's something I struggle with.
I know a lot of people do.
It feels awkward sometimes.
I get it, but trust me, a simple email or message thanking someone for their time can go a long way. And mention something specific you discussed so they know you were paying attention.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to propose a follow-up meeting or even just a virtual coffee chat.
So it's about tuning that initial interaction into something more.
Right. Building a relationship.
And what about online follow-ups?
Well, LinkedIn is great for that.
Okay.
You can connect with someone after you meet them and then stay on each other's radar.
So it's not enough to just connect and then forget about them.
No, you want to engage with their posts, share articles that might interest them, or congratulate them on achievements.
So it's really about nurturing those connections over time.
Exactly. It's a long game.
And with so many different platforms and avenues for networking, it can feel overwhelming.
Right.
Any tips for staying organized?
I would say choose the platforms and groups that align with your goals.
Okay,
Don't try to be everywhere at once.
that makes sense.
Focus your energy on the platforms where your target audience is most active.
Okay.
And remember, it's okay to say no to some invitations. Your time is valuable,
That's true.
so invest it wisely.
It feels like we've covered so much.
We have.
From defining what networking is to all these practical tips for doing it effectively.
And we haven't even gotten to online networking yet.
You're right. There's a whole other world to explore there.
Exactly.
Ready to dive into the digital depths.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're back and ready to tackle the world of online networking.
The digital frontier.
Yeah, exactly. It's like networking, but, in your pajamas.
Exactly.
And the article really highlights LinkedIn as the place to be.
It is the 800-pound gorilla.
It is. And, it's not just about job hunting anymore.
No, not at all.
It's really become a way to showcase your skills, your experience.
It's like a living, breathing resume.
Oh, I like that.
You can share your thoughts and insights through articles and posts.
Right. And establish yourself as an expert in your field.
Precisely. It's all about building your professional brand.
So it's not enough to just have a profile.
No, you have to actively use it.
Okay, so how do we do that? The article talks about creating a complete and compelling profile.
Right. You want to make sure you have a professional headshot, a clear summary of your experience and skills.
Okay, but I think people sometimes struggle with, translating their real-world experience into an online presence.
I understand it can be tricky, but think about what makes you unique and highlight those aspects.
Okay.
Use keywords that people might use to search for someone with your expertise.
So it's kind of like SEO for your profile.
Exactly. You want to be discoverable.
And don't forget recommendations.
Oh, yes, those are gold.
They can really add credibility.
Like having a virtual cheer squad.
Okay, so we've got the profile down.
Right.
What about actually engaging with people?
Well, the article talks about joining groups and participating in discussions.
Okay, so it's not enough to just lurk in the shadows.
No, you have to be a contributing member of the community.
I guess it's like attending a virtual conference.
Exactly. You wouldn't just sit in the corner.
Right, you'd mingle and talk to people.
And just like with conferences, you want to choose groups that align with your interests and goals.
Okay, so be strategic about it.
Yes, and don't be afraid to reach out to individuals directly.
Oh, yeah. A personalized message can go a long way,
It shows you're genuinely interested.
but keep it authentic.
Always.
No copy and paste messages.
No.
So we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have
from traditional networking to online platforms.
a whole spectrum.
And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that networking is really about human connection,
It is at its core.
whether it's face-to-face or through a screen.
It's about building relationships and supporting each other.
And it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly.
Well, on that note,
Yeah,
I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into networking.
I agree.
Hopefully you're feeling a little more empowered to go out there and connect with the world.
And don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone.
You never know what amazing opportunities might be waiting for you.
Until next time, happy networking.
See you later.